let's talk about God. Why? Because look, um, in your life, you will find that there are some really, really basic things that you have to decide for yourself. And unless you decide them, it's really, really difficult to build your life from that point onward. So, for example, imagine you're building a house. Okay, what does a house need? It needs some kind of base, right? Like you can't just go and build a house on dirt or rocks or whatever. Well, the rocks actually may be not bad if they can be used, but on dirt, you know what happens when you build a house on dirt? Well, the house just sinks in the dirt. So like these are walls and this is a roof, and imagine my head is dirt, okay? And what you see, the house will start sinking into the dirt. Wow, beautiful. Anyway, so you can't. You have to have a strong base, right, to build a house. And your personality is a house. And unless you decide the base, at least figure out most of these things, you can't build a strong house. Your house will start sinking and anything can destroy it. Um, and so this is how you do that. Like you have to answer really, really important questions like what are your values? What person you are? What person do you want to be? And one of the huge, huge questions in life is going to be the question of God. Is there God? Right? Well, so I really don't want to make this video because I believe that every person has to come to their own conclusion. Like, you can't just take somebody else's opinion, and I don't want you to take my opinion, right? But I think it's fair if I share my opinion with you, and then you can decide for yourself what you think, okay? So I hope you are thinking about this because everybody needs to know the answer to this question. Where do they fall on this continuum of like, yes, there is God and I believe there is God, or there is no God and I believe there is no God? Ooh, and like, how do you know there is no God? You see, like, this is not, and like in the middle, which I personally fall somewhere in the middle. And anyway, so here is how I was thinking. When I was a teenager, I was really, really concerned because I see churches, and when I was small, my grandma used to like, one grandma was just saying, oh, we believe in God, we go to church. Okay, that's the end of the conversation. Another grandma was teaching me prayers, was telling me about God, that God will like punish people if they are not good enough or whatever. So anyway, and you see, I had a choice, right? So I saw the churches, I saw people believe in God, and I thought, wait, but my parents don't believe in God, and like, because I was born in the Soviet Union, uh, religion was kind of not illegal, but it was very, very kind of frowned upon. It's like, what can I compare it to? I don't know. Like, it's not illegal, but it's weird. Like, if you believe in God, it's like you are not a real human being, kind of, or like you're weird. You know, it's like, yeah, I really don't know what to compare it to without offending anybody. Anyway, okay. So my thinking, and I spent a long time thinking about this, is this: we need to think about it logically. Okay, like logic is the only tool the human has to analyze the world. So if there is God, God is in the world, right? And how do we know about the world is through logic. Like, if something falls down, then, well, there is some force that's pulling it down, right? There is no, it has to be, okay. And so of course then they're like, oh, maybe God created the laws of nature and blah blah blah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So here is my conclusion. Is there God? I think no. And here is why. In the Bible, well, okay, there are many gods in many religions, but let's use the Bible because, like, it's one of the most trending religions, okay? Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, I think they all have same God, okay? And so the Bible, which these religions kind of accept at least, says that God created a man, person, human, looking at by its, how do you say, like, I don't know how to say it in English, but the human is the kind of copy of God. Okay. What is human? Like, what separates a human from, let's say, a stone? Well, human is alive, yes, and human has what? Consciousness, right? Okay, and it means that the God is also conscious, because, like, everything in Bible and in many other religions says that God is conscious. Right, okay. So the difference between, let's say, a stone and anything living is that it has conscience. Not bad. Good. Okay, so what's the next step in this chain of thought? Well, if the God has conscience, then let's think about conscience. What is it? Like, what is the feature? What is the main difference between conscience and, let's say, a law of nature? Like, for example, what laws of nature we know? Let's say gravity. Okay, you can't, how to say, trick gravity. You have to, like, there is no escape from it. Okay, so let's compare gravity to conscience. What is the difference between the two? And the main difference is that gravity doesn't change. I mean, its existence doesn't change. You go to space, there is no gravity. You go back to Earth or other planets, there is gravity. Gravities, many gravities, okay? But they exist and they don't change. I mean, they do change, but they change according to some other laws of nature, right? They don't change, like, randomly. So here is the thing. What's the difference between conscience and the law of nature? Is the conscience changes all the time. And like, today you have this mood, tomorrow you have that mood, and next day you will have that another mood. Your memories change all the time, your decisions change all the time, and for me, if God had conscience, things would change all the time, but they never change. Like, in our world, gravity doesn't change. It's not like one morning we wake up in weightlessness, wake up on the ceiling. No, it just doesn't change. The sun shines every day. The chemical reactions in the sun keep happening regardless of anything, right? So here is my conclusion. If there was God, he or she or it would have to be conscious. And conscious things would change everything all the time. But things are not changing all the time. It means that either God has no conscience or there is no God. And in either case, it doesn't matter then. Like, if there is God, there is no God, I don't know. That's why I'm agnostic, which I say you can't know about God. Like, people who believe in God, people who say there is no God, I think both are kind of wrong because they don't know. That's true. Like, I don't know. And it doesn't matter. Either God is non-conscious, conscious, like in Taoism. God is everything. Everything is God. Well, there you go. Fine, doesn't change our life. So it doesn't matter, or there is no God. Because, well, God can't be conscious and not change anything forever, ever. Well, there you go. That's my answer. What about you? What do you think?